Hey everybody, welcome back to The Burrow. I'm Chris, your second favorite fragrance-loving muggle, and today I'm coming at you with my top 10 for fall 2020 list. So stick around if you want to hear it. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to talk about, and these are in no particular order, but the first one we're going to mention is this one by Victor and Rolf. It is Spice Bomb Extreme. So this one is vanilla with black pepper and tobacco and some lavender, and it's just a really cozy, comforting scent that I really love once the weather starts to get just a little bit of a nip in the air. It's super, super relaxing. I think the lavender in there really rounds it out and makes it just one of the best fall scents out there. So if you haven't tried it and you like spicy vanillas, give it a try. Okay, so the next one that we're going to talk about is this one, and I only have a travel spray because I haven't bought the full bottle yet. This is the Architects Club from Arquise. And this one is still a vanilla, so it's still very cozy, but this one is a fruitier and then sweeter vanilla, as it fruity in the opening and then sweet in the dry down. This one has like vanilla and amber and juniper berry and lemon and orange. So it's a really interesting and really great vanilla fragrance. If you like Nishane Ani, give this one a try too. It's in that same wheelhouse and you might really enjoy this one. Okay, coming up next is this one from the house of by Killian, and that one is Single Malt, and this one is all about plum. It's a really boozy plum vanilla. I think it's got like some notes of some woods and wheat and stuff in there as well, but it's all about the plum, all about the vanilla, and very, very boozy. It's just the perfect scent just to spray on and hang around the house. Just go easy on the trigger because this one is pretty strong. Okay, the next one is actually going to be an honorable mention because it's no longer available, and it's this one, Mugler Amen Pure Coffee. So this one, it is a very heavy coffee note at the beginning, but the coffee doesn't last the whole life of the fragrance in this one. It does become like a really musky, patchouli, woodsy fragrance with just a really cozy feeling. So I do really enjoy this one, but the coffee doesn't last quite long enough for my nose. If you are into coffee fragrances, the one that I'm going to suggest is this one from the house of Acro, and that's Acro Awake. This is the best coffee fragrance that I've ever smelled. The coffee lasts the entire life of the fragrance, and this one is just all about the coffee. It smells just like, when you open up a new canister of coffee and you just get that big blast of coffee. That's what this one's like. It's got some other things in there, some vetiver and stuff like that, but this one is just all about the coffee to me. If you're a fan of coffee and a fan of coffee fragrances, definitely you need this one. It's amazing. Acro Awake. All right, the next one that I want to talk about is from the house of Ormond Jane, and it is Vanille d'Iris. So this one, of course, has vanilla and iris. This one is like a light fluffy cloud. It is just so pleasant to smell, and it just wafts off of you all day long. It is extremely nice and rich. It's a little more complex than some of the other vanillas that we've talked about. It's got things like, pink pepper, bergamot, carrot seed, amber, vanilla, all those things. It's got orris, some cedar, but mainly it's just a really fluffy vanilla fragrance that's perfect for like a chilly day. I wear it all the time. I mean, it's not even cold yet, and I wore this one, I think 3 days last week, just because I can't put it down. It's that good. So from Ormond Jane, Vanille d'Iris. Okay, so while we are talking about iris, why not go ahead and talk about this one? DHI, or Dior Homme Intense. This one is all about the iris. If you're a fan of iris, I'm sure you are familiar with this, you've smelled it. But this one has iris and ambrette and lavender, but it's all about that lipsticky, powdery iris. It's just extremely nice to wear. Some days you just wake up and you just are like, it's a DHI kind of day, and you spray it on and you're happy with it all day long. I'm still trying to get a sample of Dior Homme Parfum. I have yet to try that one, but by the notes and what everyone says, I think I'm really going to enjoy that one. I have just normal Dior Homme behind me there, and I really enjoy that one. Dior Homme Cologne, I mean, basically all of them are good, but of the ones that I have, DHI is definitely my favorite for fall. Okay, next up we have this one from Carolina Herrera, and this is CH Men Prive, and this one is a leather heavy scent. It's leather and booze and some sweetness from tonka bean in there. It's got lavender and some other spices and things like that in there as well, but mainly you get the leather, the booze, and that sweet tonka bean. And this one's another one that the trail that you leave and the projection off of you smells better than just smelling it off your skin. But this is another one that as soon as the weather gets just like the tiniest bit of chill in the air, I start reaching for this one. I wear this one quite a bit in the cold weather. It's really good if you enjoy the note of leather and you don't mind booziness. Definitely one to check out. Okay, so next we're going to Tom Ford, and this one is Plum Japonais, which is one of my favorite ones from the house. Everybody always reaches for Tobacco Vanille, and I really enjoyed that one too. I almost put it on this list. It'll probably be in my winter list, but for the fall, Plum Japonais just has the best projection and sillage trail. I just really enjoy this one, especially when you catch a whiff of yourself on the wind. It's got a heavy dose of plum, and then it's got oud and cinnamon and amber, some cypress and vanilla, and all things just wonderful. Yeah, I mean, when you smell this one, it just makes you feel like fall. I'm ready to go to the pumpkin patch. I'm ready to go to the orchard. Tom Ford Plum Japonais. Okay, so sticking with the house of Tom Ford, we have this one next, Tom Ford Noir Extreme. And I think this was my very first bottle of Tom Ford that I ever bought, and I still really enjoy this one quite a bit. The best thing about this one is that it is extremely inoffensive. It's very versatile. You can wear this just about anywhere and just know that you're going to smell good and not offend anyone. And it lasts forever. The longevity on this is ridiculous. It's heavy on the vanilla, like a lot of the scents on this list are. I just really enjoy vanilla, especially when the weather turns cold. But it also has cardamom and nutmeg and cinnamon. I think it has a note of pistachio, I believe. I haven't checked the notes in a while. It's got maybe a rose and a little bit of orange in the opening. But this one, it just dries down to like a really nice spicy vanilla, a little floral, but just the right, it's well blended, so it just has the right amounts of everything. And if you are looking to get into the house of Tom Ford and want one that's well worth the money, because it's not in the private line, so it's not as expensive, and it's really great for fall and winter, office, work, home, wherever, baseball game, Tom Ford Noir Extreme, extremely good for sure. Okay, and to wrap up this list, we're going to go to the house of Serge Lutens with 5 o'clock Eau Jambre. And this one is probably more suited to colder weather, but I will be wearing it for fall, for winter, whenever. This one just smells delicious, so I really enjoy it. It is a heavy ginger fragrance, but it also has honey and tea, cinnamon, patchouli. It doesn't quite smell like a gingerbread cookie to me, which is what I had hoped for when I first got it. But it does give me the vibe of, the time of year when I would want to eat gingerbread cookies and, have some nice warm tea or, sip on a nice bourbon, for sure. Okay, we made it through my list and we didn't even have Hillary bust in or scream about anything. So I think that's a first for me doing anything on her channel. So if you stayed until the end, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions about any of these fragrances, leave me a comment or message me and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. And thanks for stopping by the Burrow. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.